Hi, welcome to yoga. Today is day 7 of the 14-day NamAste at Home Yoga Challenge. I'm Danielle Day, and I've been in my house or in my neighborhood walking continuously since March 1st, and today's the 29th. So 4 weeks into our national kind of COVID-19 moment, I woke up this morning and first thing I did was I felt so grateful for my own health, for my husband's health, and I was inspired to put together a restorative yoga class today for you. We've been working hard all week, doing lots of hatha, lots of power vinyasa flow, a little bit of sculpt, and now it's time for us to go inside and really heal and restore. A little bit of information. Restorative yoga and yin yoga are kind of the same, but they're on a continuum of care. We say yin yoga takes a healthy body and brings it to optimal. And then we say restorative yoga takes a broken body and brings it to healthy. So it's basically the same shapes, these asanas that I'll be showing you, but they're propped up. I've got all of my yoga bolsters and blocks and straps to show you how you create the restorative poses so that there's actually kind of the opposite of what's happening. In the yin tradition, we hang out and we let gravity and time really help to loosen and open up all the stuck places in the connective tissues. Restorative actually props us up so there's no gravity, and we hold poses for time in a quieter and a warmer and a darker kind of restoring cocoon sort of vibe. So I hope this makes sense. I hope you have a lot of fun, and it's going to be a very peaceful and grounding practice. So it's Sunday morning, and that's what I'm feeling like doing. I hope that you do also. And let's get started. Right away, you'll want to have handy a lot of cushions. If you don't have lots of yoga bolsters, again, grab everything you can from pillows and couch cushions and blankets so that we can build these shapes for you. All right, let's get started getting into our breathing and our mindset. So this is a good time to take an easy, comfortable seat onto a cushion and to turn your palms up. Relax your shoulders down. See how this lifts up your heart? This already is putting you into a state of mind, of intention. And very slowly, draw your arms up overhead, steeple your palms, bring them to your heart. This is a moment for you to cultivate a dedication for your practice. Think about how your thoughts and your words, your deeds and your actions can contribute towards the betterment of other people. Honor your space, and let's begin. Go ahead and come onto all fours, set your bolster aside, and I want to teach you how to create a really nice position to begin, where we use a couple of blocks propping up a bolster to create a little ramp. So right away, if you have a towel or a blanket on your sticky mat, put a block down so that it doesn't slide. Put another block down. And the idea here is that we're going to create height for you to lean into. So right away, make sure there's no really wrinkled places on your surface because you'll be sitting there. And if you have a little cushion that can make your bum more comfortable, that's a nice thing to put down first. And I'm going to put a pretty sturdy bolster against here. So you see how we're making a little ramp. Test it out so that it doesn't slip or slide. And when that's true, take a seat onto the cushion if you've got one. And we can use the strap around your waist to hook your feet. So you put it on at your low hips. You put your feet into the circle here so that it covers the top of your feet and that your big toes are touching. Okay? Now, these poses are held for time, so before you get too organized, for stillness. Let me go ahead and set my 5-minute timer here. And before you get into it, let's also make sure you've got a little covering for your eyes. So having a little towel like this will be nice. And for your arms, it's nice to have a couple of bolsters of equal height to serve as like little armrests. So see, we're kind of building furniture here. So I've got both of these bolsters on their sides. And it's nice sometimes to have a little covering for your front so that you don't feel too vulnerable and exposed. So if you can, take a little blanket, put your little eye pillow thingy on. And notice how I've fashioned the bolsters so that my fingertips are right at the edge and my palms can have this little curved feature. And I could tuck and tilt my tailbone to regulate how much traction I'm getting from the strap at my low back. And this is a place to go inside. So once you settle in, become aware of the easy rise and fall of your chest. There's no fancy way to breathe in restorative yoga. Simply commit to some stillness and this lovely cocoon you've created, covered with the blanket and the eye covering. Let's have a couple minutes together quietly, because warm, dark, and quiet are the features of restorative yoga. And this is really a nice posture for us to begin restorative yoga, because primarily here, when you are propped up on the ramp at a 45-degree angle, it's harder to fall asleep. This is a nice way to get started in our sequence, to become still, but to still feel relatively with it. So, take this moment to observe the effortless rhythm of your breathing. And as you're here, listening to the stillness and the silence, It's okay if your brain becomes busy or distracted. Simply start from scratch. Find a round of breath. And change. All right, now friends, remove your eye covering. Set it down handy next to you. Remove your torso covering. Let your arms go. Now this is important. When you're in restorative yoga, your core is completely turned off, and so your spine is kind of vulnerable to injury. So what you need to do is move only using upper body strength and coming into really neutral shapes. So my first idea is to take at least 1 foot out of the strap, to roll to the side. Avoid anything jarring. You'd be really slow. And then roll onto all fours. And let's unhook the foot and strap combination. And we'll get set up for the next posture. Now, when you're teaching restorative yoga, I have to tell you, it's beautiful because you can watch the people go from being pretty active and frenzied to being very soft and settled. And it just feels mean to pull them out of the poses. So I always say restorative yoga, the hardest part of teaching it is, telling them to get out of the posture. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do together today is a back bend. Now, we got organized in our practice with that nice little recliner seat shape. A back bend is going to bring up our energy a little bit. Now, we're not trying to get super energized and hyper, but it's just neat to really compare the effects of these restorative poses on your body. You'll really notice that different emotions happen with different shapes. It's just kind of cool. All right, so the first thing you're going to want is to put a cushion in the middle. And again, smooth surfaces are really nice. We like to tell the story, the fairy tale of the princess and the pea. Remember how she was super disturbed in the night because she had a pea underneath her 100 mattresses? It's like you won't notice that it's there until deep into your posture, and then it's just going to be unbearable. So we'll work to not have any wrinkles or folds underneath you in your surfaces. Warm, dark, and quiet. That's what we're going for. So you want to have your blanket handy and your eye covering available. And let's relax you safely into this back bend. Now, identify where your belly button is. Draw your fingers in a straight line back and notice right at that spot is where your lumbar starts to curve forward. Right at that spot is where my top ends, and this is my marker. I put the top, my shirt, like at the tip of the surface so that as I recline back, I know that my lumbar is free. It's not going to be compressed. This is nice to create some cushioning for behind your neck because, again, like your lumbar, your neck curves forward too. And in these poses, it's really nice to accommodate them. Now, your legs can be straight in this pose, but also notice how it changes the posture if you put some height underneath your knees, okay? And your feet hanging out can be really lovely. But it's even groovier if you put a cushion there so that the curve forward of your Achilles, your little tendons there at your ankle, is supported. So I've got open lumbar, I've got filled in cervical spine, that's your neck, and I've got filled in gaps behind the ankles. And wow, this is gonna be pretty sweet. Let's be in this one for 10 minutes. So as you get organized, see about the shape of everything and, really experiment with scooching down to keep the space of lumbar and notice what you can put handy for your arms. I like a back bend to have a lot of open, outstretched arm feature because that just feels just glorious. It's like the Titanic, I'm king of the world kind of feeling. So get yourself into how you want to be in your pose. And again, restorative yoga, the longer you're in it, the nicer. So let's go for it. Let's go 10 minutes in this one. Put your eye covering on. Check that everything feels like a similar height for you. Your elbows propped up. the block, or if you're going straight arms like me, make sure all the little spaces are tucked in so that you can really be and of course, at this point, you notice if you'd like anything different. And if you're setting somebody else up in a restorative posture, that's a great question to ask your participant. You would, instead of saying, hey, how's that? And they'll say, oh, that's fine. You would say, well, hey, what would you like different? Because about this point in the posture, it becomes apparent what you would like different. And I felt like I was too propped up, too high to get my effect. So I took it down and I'm draping my arms nice and wide. And the effect of restorative yoga, really, when you get it right, you can really feel every part of your body drop into place. And it feels as good as being in a bubble bath. You know, when you get everything right, you got your candles, your music, the right book, maybe a beverage. And there's that perfect moment where you really aren't futzing around anymore, getting another book or a different beverage or what have you. So remember, as ever, I'm watching the clock, so you don't have to. Once you get yourself set up here, we have 7 minutes in which to indulge, enjoy. Now, you have the option to mute this video at any time, and I realize that. And you also have the option to play music, and I'm grateful for that. One thing that I practice with as an expert yogi, I've cultivated mantra throughout my life. And there's a very sacred and the original mantra that I've learned. And my Indian friends tell me it's really not cool to say this out loud. And my Indian friends tell me it's really not cool to teach it. But I'm an American and I'm at heart just a group fitness instructor. So I'm going to, with the utmost respect, just provide this as an offering. In a restorative posture, heck, even a challenging yoga pose, where there's a lot of time on our hands, you know, your brain can get a little grumbly. That's where mantra makes your brain busy, so you're thinking of something else. The Gayatri mantra has several syllables, and I'm going to say them for you. I'm saying them to myself in my head, and I just feel like I want to share it with you. Is a strategy that you could adopt. When we wrap up this video, I'll post a link to some resources so you can look it up. But basically, in my brain, when I'm holding a posture for, even if it's just 1 minute, over and over in my brain, I say, Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Naha Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. And just a bit of information, it's spelled Gayatri mantra, Gayatri mantra. And it's really just saying the 24 constituent elements of material reality that we call Prakriti. I am told that the 25th element, Purusha, is that which unlocks it all to form what we are experiencing. It's super ancient, super old wisdom here. And even saying the words out loud kind of cheapens them. And hearing me say them out loud, I'm a little bit backseat driving my consciousness. I'm thinking, wow, it doesn't even capture how this makes me feel. So this is just an offering from an expert yogi to you, a brand new yogi or someone who's just the uninitiated. I want you to feel good in poses. I want you to feel good in life. So in addition to teaching you how to put your shape, your body into the shapes of asana, I'm excited for you to goof around with a shape that you could put inside your mind so that it has something not really productive or constructive to do, but just neutral, Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. I'll just do it 2 more times, and I have to tell you, I feel so relaxed. I'd say this to myself when I can't sleep, or if I'm stressed out, or if I'm really mad, or heaven forbid, if I'm taking a class and the teacher is stumbling over what to say, or maybe she forgot something, or I'm just backseat driving as an opinionated person. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. We got a couple more minutes here, so enjoy. And just like that, we actually just had a couple more moments. All right, so friends, remember, we're coming out of a restorative pose. You've been in it for a while. That was around 10 minutes. So your neck, your low back, they're prone to injury. So carefully set your eye covering aside. Fold up your blanket. Set it aside. And then get prepared to roll into fetal position. So again, remove any props that are over there. You're using just upper body strength to get organized. And then, here we go, roll to your side. And once you're feeling safe there, take your top hand, push yourself up. And let's meet on all fours. And we'll transition. So notice how if you did it right, you don't feel anything. I don't feel any tension in my neck or my back. And that's the idea, is that you're really buoyed and buoyant in restorative yoga. These props are doing all the work. Okay, so now that we did an incline to get organized and we did a back bend, don't you just feel a little more awake now because of all of the back bend? Let's do a twist. So the first thing you want to do is take a bolster, lie it down, and you want to put your hip on the bolster. And the goal is to have your knees going one way and your eyes going the other way. So we're going to be on top of this bolster. So you want to make sure you're going to be comfy. So this is where a nice soft blanket can be yummy. And so you want your nice soft surface. And we'll put your left hip onto the bolster and make sure you have room for your legs. We're going to kind of create a deer expression with your legs. So that's going to be the 290-degree knees. And we want to help them feel good too. So a big rule of thumb in restoratives is to have the joints in a line. So where you have a knee up higher and an ankle down lower, we want to fix that. So before we get into the posture, something like a pillow or a half bolster like this guy is going to be enough to put my knee at the same height of my ankle for the most part. See how the ankle still needs a little more height? You can build height by just something as simple as folding up a small towel or washcloth. And to be in a twist is for me to be like having my rib cage dropping on top of this and my knees in this in a pinwheel sort of expression. So I'm going to put another bolster for my other leg back here and making sure that my knee doesn't dip down lower than my foot. See? This is all the same shape. And then my hip is just relaxed onto the floor. But again, check it. Does it feel like it's kind of squishing down? You can cushion that up by putting something soft underneath your hip. And again, let's set the timer for, say, 5 minutes and begin. This feels a lot like being in bed. And so this is a nice way. Now, some of you can turn your head in the opposite direction. I like the position where I've landed, so you can make it even twistier that way. Remember, you're not chasing a stretch or sensation. We're just getting you into a place that you can just flop and drop. So, flopping and dropping are where it's at. I'm already feeling like I want a little bit of support here. Oh, nice. Okay, try not to mess up my microphone for you. But optimally, I'm not talking in this class. That's the hazard of being a teacher, is once you learn what's going on and you learn what to say, you fall in love with the sound of your own voice. And you become bored if you are not talking. But that's where the yoga starts. And when boredom sets in, that's where the strategy of mantra can pay off. So a busy thinking, opinionated, planning, judging, storytelling mind like mine, that's where I love being able to Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Shakti Yo-Yo Naha Prachodayat. Let's breathe, friends. The self-care of this practice is so cool because your brain, it goes into an alpha state. It really drops, from where you become very busy and thinking at times when you are breathing very shallow. We flip that. The breath is so slow, so the brain waves slow down. And the effect can be a lot like having had a nap. So this practice, although sometimes challenging because there is a lot of stillness, and it may feel counterintuitive. You're like, but I've been sitting around. This is quarantine time. I've just been at the house. I need to go. It's like, well, that's true. I hope you are enjoying our active vinyasa classes. I hope that you are walking every day outdoors in the neighborhood, staying safely distant from the neighbors. But this is what's valuable. The third place, somewhere between being awake and active and alert and being asleep, it's this place called rest. No screen in front of your face. No beverage or snack going on, and optimally no teacher yammering at you. So in this next quiet phase, let's let you drop. Okay, change. So now use your arms to switch sides. And as we're switching sides, check in. You know that you did it right if you're not feeling any stiff or achy soreness. And you know that you did it right when your body just feels good. Again, I always feel bad moving you once we get you all cozy. But welcome to Restorative Yoga. It's got so much value. Think about it. When we're always busy trying to achieve and accomplish, that's when our anxiety kicks up. And practicing asana is so fun. We love it. But sometimes we get a little caught up in like, well, how's this posture look? And what's it doing for me? And, what am I accomplishing? What am I achieving? Have some balance in your life basically means give yourself permission to don't just do something. Sit there. But really sit there in a place where you're just chillaxing, not eating or drinking or watching a movie or looking at your screen. We're getting you off the grid, friends. Okay, so again, now when you're flopping onto the bolster, some of you can turn your head and get a deep twist, but that's not appropriate for my body. So what I'm showing you might look different than what you like, but here's the basic idea. We have the two 90-degree knees. We've got something to just flop on top of. And I like to joke that I have aftermarket parts. So, I never really like to lie on my tummy. So I'm making a little space here for breast tissue. And yeah, I found a comfy place, and I hope you did too. Let's put the 5 minutes on the clock we enjoyed before and drop, flop, and most of all, stop. This is where it can feel funny, like a family member walks in. What are you doing? I'm doing yoga. What? Yeah. Can't you tell? I'm doing yoga. I'm doing restoratives. Restoring. Now this arm here wants to be a little higher up. That's why I'm getting fussy. So I'm going to add the height. That is right. And there we go. Yeah, see? Whatever you intuitively feel like you need different, listen to you, because you're smart. Let's see how this foot is slipping. Again, I can't drop till I can. So I'm going to put, again, it's the equal height, pretty much, for my knee and ankle. And there you go. Oh, yeah. Okay. Whew. Yeah. I mean, it's worth it. It's worth getting up and making it perfect. Because then when it's perfect, oh, golly, it's perfect. This arm kind of wants to be like this. Oh, yeah. Okay, even better. Let's relax, friends. Let's drop. Now, create a mantra to yourself. Maybe you inhale and say, I am. And then on your exhale, say, helping out. Because remember, you're in your house, you're staying away from people, you're fighting the virus. You're doing such good work. You're helping other people, and by doing restorative yoga, you're helping you. So let's relax. Let's be quiet together and let's breathe. Think in your head, I am helping out. An alternative name for restorative yoga, I like to say pillow fort. It's like we're taking all of these, we're making a pillow fort. I think that's what we'll call this video. Pillow fort. Okay, couple more minutes. You can do this. Hang out. Tune into your breath. Drop into your props. It's so fun to be in this shape. It's like, maybe this is a lot like how you sleep, but you're not asleep. You're really refueling your tank. Ostensibly, we're not busy, quote unquote, these days because we're at home, but I don't know about you, but I've been sanitizing surfaces right and left, tons of housework and laundry. Okay, there's the alarm. So now use your upper body strength to push you up to an easy, comfortable seat. Remember, your spine is vulnerable, so move really slow and careful. And, I'm looking around my house. Look, every pet. I got Guinness under there, got Nemo there. Monty and Milo are piled up over there. Maybe they know something we don't. More naps. All right, so think about it. We started off at an incline, then we took a back bend, then we twisted one way, then we twisted the other way. Now we're going to need a forward fold. See how this all balances out? I'm excited about this next one a lot. I like to call it Stonehenge because we're going to build with props. This neat thing to flop over. Now, get organized for sitting down on the floor. And if your back is at all sensitive today, sitting on height is a really important accommodation we can make. And one of the easiest props for sitting on height is your very own mat. My low back is feeling a tiny sensitive, so I am going to roll up the edge of this so that when I'm sitting on the mat, I'm kind of pitched forward, maintaining the lumbar curve of my low back. And what we'll need in front of you is a couple of blocks and a couple more blocks if you have them. I think 4 is great in this moment so that you can have 2 cereal box position. And what we're building is a nice surface for you to flop down on. So start off with the blocks close enough that they can hold up the bolster. Yep. Kind of nice and fortified like that. And I want to have it high up enough so I can really flop forward. So here comes another bolster. And the features of restorative yoga being warm, dark, and quiet will necessitate me being quiet. So let's do that again. We'll set up our timer. Let's set this one for 5 minutes. And when you're pitched forward, sometimes it is really nice to have support, like covering you, obviously, but also a little bit of weight, pushing on your upper back. So I'm going to put on my little blanket, and I'm going to take this bucky, it's like a sandbag, and I'm going to put my forehead on my top prop, and I'm going to scoot things forward enough that I can totally just relax. And this is glorious. You are a go-getter. And that is awesome, because that's why people love you. They can count on you and you get it done. And sometimes when you're told, don't just do something, sit there, you can kind of push your buttons a little. So this is why yoga is so much more than exercise. Go inside now to your heart's deepest longing and find an affirmation. Say it that it's true in your head 3 times. Something you wish for, long for, are working for, but be thanking it as though it were already achieved. So an example, I am peaceful and relaxed. That's the one I'm going to use. So come up with your own intention, your own sankalpa. And together, let's spend these glorious 3 minutes saying it as though it were true. Big breath in, I am. Big breath out. Relaxed. Again and again, whatever your mantra is, let's begin. Now check in. There's a word, we call it allostasis. And it's basically describes a process of going from the human doing to the human being. Give yourself permission to not be advancing anything forward. Give yourself permission to relax and stop. Give yourself permission to restore. Find another couple easy rounds of breath, because that 5-minute interval is over. Isn't it funny? It's like we get into the shape and we're like, okay, how's it going? Do I need to fix this? And then you get into the phase where it's like, okay, well, now I'm resolving to be still. And then maybe you get to the phase of, okay, now I'm bored, or if you're me, I'm thinking, how dumb do I look on camera right now? This has got to be so funny. And then the timer goes off, and I don't know about you, but I'm like, I don't want to move. I feel like a teenager whose mom is saying, time to get up. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. That's okay. Let's lean into it. You know, this isn't your new life. You're not suddenly completely deconditioned and a slug. You're just leaning into some wisdom, your body and your soul. They're saying, look, you're in your house for 14 days. This is day 7. Aren't you exhausted by now? All that cleaning and scrubbing and procuring of goods and storing up for the who knows what's next, and the ups and the downs, the emotions. I'm not trying to create drama. I'm just saying, find your heart's desire of what it is that you need right now, and 3 times through, say it like it is. So I'm going to say, in my mind, I am And then on my exhale, say helping out. So you choose your sankalpa. Let's begin. Okay, I feel better. All right, now use your upper body strength to lift yourself up. That's funny. Like, what are you doing? We're doing yoga. Can't you tell? All right, I'm so excited for you that you could be taking this on. And with kids around, yeah, pillow fort, man. Pillow fort. Okay, so my last shape I want to get you into is really special. It's called Instant Maui. And if you ever can't sleep, this is a shape to put yourself into. It'll be our last one because we want to take a really substantial Shavasana after all this. The founder of Restorative Yoga, Judith Hansen Lassiter, she was a student of Iyengar, who was a student of Krishnamacharya. So you're getting quite the fifth-hand information on this, but that's yoga. It's a cosmic game of telephone. Judith Hansen Lassiter says you should always do 15 minutes of Shavasana in restorative yoga. So we want to budget for that. Danielle Day says Instant Maui is a wonderful pose for right before the Shavasana. How do we make it? Let's begin. First, take your mat, straighten it out, smooth out your very favorite towel that the most beautiful person you know gave to you, and you honor her by making these videos and know that we'll be together again soon. Okay, here we go. Take an ottoman like you've seen me use in these videos, or take a few bolsters, enough that when you lie down, hips and knees are at 90 degrees. Let's check our work thus far. I'm gonna lie on my back and go here. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good because now my back is flat, hips are 90 degrees, so are the knees. But see how my feet are out in space? They want to feel kind of held. So I'm going to put a bolster there to tuck right into the arches of my feet. So here comes this one. And I don't want it so high up that it throws off my shape. So I'm just going to tuck it back there. All right, so now for down here at the front end, I'm going to want to be covered, of course. So we've got this. Now, my arms want to be the height of my shoulders in restorative yoga. So a lot of times that's about the height of a bolster. So I'm going to put two similarly shaped bolsters for my arms. I'm not going to need the blocks so very much. So let's set them to the side. And here's the blanket. Here's these guys. Something for the neck. This is probably too high. It probably wouldn't be very fun. And it's at this point probably maybe I show you how to do a noodle. These beautiful Mexican blankets that you see all the time in yoga studios, there's a proper way to use them. And when you practice, you can learn to make any prop with these little Mexican blankets. So instead of covering myself with this, I'll use a different blanket, but I wanted to show you this. Roll up a Mexican blanket and you can make a little noodle so your neck has comfort. And when you make the noodle like a circle, then you make like this little boppy, like a little pillow for your head. And that can be really nice. Sometimes that needs held down to stay secure. But see what I've done? I've made a little ring with my Mexican blanket. All right, so pardon me while I get up to get a blanket for my my covering. Okay. All right. Instant Maui coming up. Okay, make sure you have your eye covering handy so you can cover your eyes. If you made a noodle boppy for your neck, here it is, a little circle. And this one, let's be in this one for 10 minutes. And so, set yourself up. Yeah, that little strategy that I created. Might see how this goes. Oh, okay. Here we go. Cover myself with my blanket. And I guess maybe that's my strategy. Yeah, I have enough blanket that I can squish it underneath my feet against the bolster there. Hips and knees at 90. Here's the boppy I made for my head. And the bucky is holding down the ends. Oh, it's so cool. It's like this little circle that your head just kind of drops into. The blanket is supporting my neck. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Now, see how these are too high? They're too high. That was a silly thing. Blocks instead will probably be the better height for my arms. So I'm taking a block on each side here and pushing them far enough away. I put the blocks into the flattest position, and I'm just going to let my wrists rest on them. So my elbows are a little bit down. That's okay. I kind of like my hands set on the blocks. Okay. And eye covering. Here we go. 10 minutes. Let's do it. All right. Make sure your eye cover covers your eyes and makes it dark. Make sure your blanket is nice and soft, because remember, these are the features of restorative yoga: warm, dark, and quiet. Now, my goal for this portion of our practice is to give you a really nice resource for your own enjoyment, relaxation, and service to other people. It's called Yoga Nidra. And Yoga Nidra is a guided meditation. And while you're in this shape for 10 minutes, I want to offer it to you. So stay where you are while I get my glasses. And this practice takes about 12 minutes. We have about that much time. So in your restorative pose, you close your eyes, and I'm going to provide Yoga Nidra. It's a script, and the teachers, when we teach Yoga Nidra, we just say the script. And so let's begin. Let your body sink into the floor. get comfortable. Shift and move a little to let your body settle deeper into the ground. Be comforted that at this time everything is okay. Be comforted. Nothing else matters right now. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. You're here to simply feel your body and listen. Do not worry or become agitated if you do not hear everything I say. It is natural to flow in and out of conscious hearing. The deepest part of you, your core self, is always listening. Whatever your experience today, this practice will still work. There is no way to do this wrong. Simply listen without trying too hard. You are in a safe environment. You are in a protected space. Come into stillness now and remain still. Remain still for deep rest, for deep nourishment. Feel your natural breath flowing through. Allow your bones to become heavy. Feel your bones heavy and sinking into the earth. Release your bones heavy and sinking. Allow your awareness to travel through your body on a journey of sensation. Simply feel each part as it is mentioned, and without moving, remain still. Welcome all sensation just as it is. Begin with your mouth. Feel your mouth. Feel sensation in your mouth. Feel your jaw, your lips, upper lip, lower lip. Notice where your lips touch. Feel the inside of your mouth, center of the tongue. Feel your upper teeth and gums. Feel your lower teeth and gums. Feel the root of your tongue, the center of your tongue. Feel the tip of your tongue. Notice a sense of taste in your mouth. Feel your left inner cheek. Feel your right inner cheek. Now feel all the parts together as a whole. Feel your mouth as sensation, as energy, as radiant vibration. Feel your nose. Notice your nostrils. Left nostril, right nostril, both nostrils. Notice your breath. Nasal passages. Follow the nasal passages all the way into the back of your head. Become aware of your ears. Right ear, left ear, both ears simultaneously. Feel the wrinkles and folds of your ears, the backs of your ears, your earlobes, your ear canals. Follow your ear canals into your inner ear. Notice your ears receiving sound, listening. Feel your ears hearing. Feel your eyes. Feel your left eye. Feel your right eye. Feel both eyes together. Notice your eyelids. Feel each eyelash. Notice where your eyelids touch. Become aware of the surface of your eyes, the centers of your eyes, the backs of your eyes. Feel your eyes now as energy, as radiant glowing embers. Bring awareness to your crown, forehead, face. Feel your whole head. Feel your neck. Feel the back of your neck, the sides of your neck, your throat. Notice your right palm, thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. Feel your whole hand alive with energy. Feel your wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, whole shoulder. Notice the notch at the base of your throat. Notice your left palm, thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, Fourth finger. Feel your whole hand alive and filled with sensation. Feel your left wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, whole shoulder. Notice the notch at the base of your throat. Become aware of your upper chest, upper back, shoulder blades. Feel your heart center. Notice your abdomen, ribs on the back, solar plexus. Feel your belly, navel center, pelvis, hips. Feel your right hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, calf, ankle, foot, toes, sole of the foot, whole foot. Feel again your pelvis, left hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, foot, toes, sole, whole foot. Notice both feet. Feel your root between your sitting bones, navel center, solar plexus, heart center, throat center, mouth, third eye between the brows, crown. Feel now the back body resting on the earth. Bring awareness of your whole back body as sensation alive with vibration. Feel now your front body filled with radiant vibration. Pour your awareness like liquid into the right side of your body. Feel the right side. Pour your awareness like flowing sensors into the left side. Feel your left side. Feel your midline. Feel your body as a whole, complete entity. Feel sensation throughout your entire body. Begin to notice your breath, your natural breath as it flows through you. Feel the in-breath. Note the out-breath. As you exhale, imagine a wave passing downward through your body, carrying away any tension, carrying away any fear. As you inhale, notice a fresh wave flow upward through your whole body, bringing a sense of calm to every cell. Exhale, feel the wave flow downward, carrying away any tension. Inhale, feel a fresh wave, bringing serenity. Notice your back body on the floor facing the earth. Feel all the places where you touch the ground. Notice your front body facing skyward. Notice all the space surrounding you. Let your body expand wider into the space that surrounds you. Notice your breath. Feel its rhythm and pace. We are now completing your relaxation practice. Relax your body completely. Now, before you move, remember the sankalpa you sent to yourself. Remember the affirmation that you said to yourself. Repeat your sankalpa. Repeat your affirmation 3 times. It is the truth. All right. So the first thing to remove will be your eye covering. The next thing to remove will be your blanket, whatever covering you had on your front body. And before we move, again, memorize this shape, what cushions you used to create your instant Maui, the hips and knees at 90 degrees. Roll to your fetal position, and let's return you to an easy, comfortable seat, just like how we began. You may cover yourself, of course, if you got cold while we were working. Oh my gosh. We did restorative yoga. Look at the mess. I'm a little nervous because the teacher who taught me restorative yoga was really particular about how blankets are folded and just the feng shui of your space. I'm not embarrassed. This is pillow fort. I appreciate you playing pillow fort today. I feel so good. I hope you do. Restorative yoga is a real treat that you can also give to your family and your friends. You know, if someone in your household is just really losing it, going crazy, cabin fever setting in, and the movies and the video games and, you know, just they just need something different. This is something different. It's like all of the yumminess of a bubble bath without having to draw any water or get wet. Thank you for practicing restorative yoga. Thank you for listening to my efforts to teach you Gayatri Mantra and Yoga Nidra. And I hope that you have a peaceful and absolutely beautiful day, the rest of your day. Stretch up your hands, bring them to heart center. By our thoughts, our words, our deeds, and our actions, might we contribute to the greater good of the planet and all who walk upon it. Namaste. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.